So there is sometimes in enlightenment and awakening a misunderstanding when this is talked about. I'm saying not in them, but when it's discussed and talked about and taught sometimes, that there is an understanding gained for somebody. And this is the house built upon the sand, fundamental misunderstanding of awakening. What it actually is when a misunderstanding is seen to be misunderstanding, it's no longer a misunderstanding. There is no understanding gained for anyone, because the fundamental house built upon the sand misunderstanding is that there is a separate self. And so there are those who know and there are those who do not know. And if you look up the etymology of the word secret, it's mind-blowing, because it means essentially, when you go to the source of word roots, it means something that's cut off from another piece. So we have the piece we see, the piece we know, and the piece we don't know. And so this is sometimes called the open secret, because it's completely accessible. So the whole idea of a secret and the whole idea of what's not being known, and the idea of some people being elite enough to have access to it, is the hiding itself. And it's funny because sometimes when I watch, like, there's a particular country music video that's like old and super corny, and like also, like, I can feel all the love and romance and like everything, so I can like look at this and I can totally tap into enjoying the song, and just, or I can see how funny it is. And this is like, there's no two separate reactions. It's hilarious, and it's also profound love at the same time. Could reality be that good? Yes, it is that good. So, when things go wrong with my house, I've started to realize that a lot of time it's a really good analogy that's being shown to me. So my water pump started acting funny after we had the hot water heater replaced, and it got worse and worse and worse, to the point where for 3 minutes it was on, I had a trickle of water, and then for the next 3 minutes would be a full blast, like full water pressure. And so trying to do dishes or take a shower was really difficult, and then my dishwasher started error coding out, so I had my dad come look at the pump. And what was going on was the pump was so clogged with rust and sediment that it had settled into the indicator. So the pump has this little tube, it pushes water through to indicate what the pressure is, and then it tells it when it should come on and when it should turn off from this indicator. So this tiny little hole was clogged, not affecting the functioning of the actual pump, but completely affecting the functioning of the actual pump. So awareness, or the inner light, the light that is not inner nor outer, is a flow, like the flow of water. And our feelings and our emotions are the indicator of whether we are allowing or disallowing. And when we have thoughts or beliefs, they act like the sediment and they clog, but there is nothing that we need to gain or force through, like the pump. Water is a physical thing, needs to be pumped. Light is neither wave nor particle, and we are beyond the objectification of light as awareness. We are it and beyond it. Beyond what we think of as light. And so all there is misunderstanding seen to be misunderstanding, and then poof, the dams burst. The floodgates of love open. Because that's all you ever were. And so when we think ourself, love with a capital L, infinite, unconditional, beyond power and weakness, beyond any imagined duality, when we think it to be a secret, cut off, a separate self, it seems to be a blockage that never ever actually was affecting or destroying the whole. When we believe that it is a realization that is an attainment for a separate self, this results in our needing to take the right actions, and there being a possibility of there being wrong actions, and to work and to effort to obtain what we think will cause us to feel this love and be this love and be this greatness. We may hijack some idea of greatness or success, which is still just a cut-off conceptualization of the full, non-separate love, unconditional love that we really are. When we do that, when we cut ourselves off, we always know. We always know through feeling. Feeling is that knowing. That is how we know. And so when we have negative emotion, we know that we're thinking a thought that is separating, that is cutting ourselves off somehow. And that's the indicator that you are efforting to try to obtain something that you already have. And when you are very, very used to efforting, at first, sometimes it can seem as if dropping the effort is a sort of effort. And it's as if you were canoeing and you capsized your canoe and you were shocked and the cold water was shocking and you started panicking and flailing around in the water, just at a complete panic. For you to realize that to survive, you need to calm down and breathe, it would seem like you were dropping an effort when you were really actually calming down and breathing. And so many of our efforts, when we are doing them against what feels to be right to us, are putting the very thing we want to be at jeopardy and keeping it away from us, because as we know, it is already ours. And thinking ourselves to be a separate self, a self who possesses knowledge, who can possess awakening, who can possess enlightenment, who can possess land or a person or anything, a coat. That's the ultimate possession. Some religions are terrified of possession, of demon possession, when they believe themselves to be what can possess. That's the possession. We never possess anything. We already are everything. We already possess everything, and there's no secret. There's nothing cut off from us. And it seems to be an effort, and Rupert Spira has a good analogy where he says, like, if it's like if you are perpetually have your hand clenched up and you realize you're doing this, it may seem like an effort to unclench your hand and relax your hand, when in reality it's a relaxation. It's not an extra effort. And when you realize and remember that you can relax and just allow, There's no going out to obtain anything anymore. It's like I said in a previous video. We don't go out and get things. We don't physically go out and get things. From the perspective of awareness, everything is attracted, everything is coming to us. And everything comes out of the abundance of what we actually are.